What's up guys, I'm Jessekazam and welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. This is a Lessons from Beyond the Grave episode 2. In this series we take a few clips from my stream where I ultimately ended up dying and we kind of break down what happened, what I did right, what I did wrong, what got me killed, and what we could do better next time. I really believe that using the resources that we have to break down our own gameplay is the best way to move forward and get better at Escape from Tarkov. It can be really easy to get frustrated at the game, but channeling that energy into trying to figure out how to get better is going to be super beneficial. I made a video about how to do that if you're interested, and I also stream Escape from Tarkov, so all my links will be down below. I stream a few days a week, and we would absolutely love to have you stop by. We are there to answer questions or just hang out or help new players or anything like that. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So here we are, we're on labs. I'm playing with a buddy, so we're a duo. We are in the hallway by the parking garage and we just called the button. We've called a few raiders. We've lit a few up. So I am worried about my mags right now. And we're very careful and aware of, we rang the dinner bell by opening the garage door and then making a lot of noise, killing those raiders. So that's kind of the context. So we'll go ahead, we'll watch the clip through, and then we'll go back and kind of break it down. Hear that?
No.
Wood? Here's someone walking. Can't tell where it is. I gotta start repacking.
I can cover it.
Dang. Well, we were looking for raiders. They just freaking popped out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Player, I'm dead. He's around that corner. He tapped me.
No! No! Yep. I thought we had good shots on that guy. He probably had really good armor.
Put shots in it.
I thought we did good there, fam. I thought we did good there. So, there we are. We let's kind of just go right back from the beginning and start to break that down. So right at the beginning of this clip, I say that I hear somebody on wood, and we hear that as the clip kind of progresses. I say I'm not sure where it's from, but I can kind of hear it over here. This is why audio positioning and like learning from mistakes like this is so important, because I heard that wood and I thought that he could be out here in the courtyard. I thought he could be potentially rotating around, or he could be in here. The other thing is something that happens a lot is we can assume that it is or isn't a player. That's gotten me killed so many times when I think it's a player and I act accordingly and it's not, when I think it's a scav and I act accordingly and it's not. Assuming that you know what the enemy is almost never a good thing. This is kind of a big old trap in labs because a lot of times we're here, we want to kill some raiders, we want good loot, we hit the button, we wanted to spawn those raiders in, we had just killed a few, and I kind of let my defenses down. Yeah, I was like, I hear some wood, and internally I remember thinking, it could be a raider. So we kind of just like let our guard down. I'd make the decision that I need to repack. That's not a bad decision. Whether this was a player or a raider, it's a good call with something like an MP7 that really rips through all its ammo really fast. Not a single mag I have is full 40 out of 40 except for the one in my gun. So this was a good decision to sit down and pack mags, and my teammate said he was going to cover. The one where we went wrong was just the fact that I wasn't really thinking through if I can hear him, he can hear me. And I, once again, wasn't necessarily assuming that was a player. In the very beginning of this clip, what we heard was somebody walking on wood, not sprinting, which means if they're in walking distance that I can hear them, if that's an enemy that has contacts, I'm in a walking distance for them as well. So I say over here, I'm going to pack my mags. My teammate walks across in front here, lays prone, and holds that angle, which normally can be a really good thing. That can be a good corner, not exposing too much of your body and going prone, taking advantage of that recoil buff and just kind of holding that. But in this case, the player heard that we went prone and was able to eliminate my teammate immediately. We hear the grenade come in, and this is always a flight or fight mechanism when you hear a grenade. Grenades in Escape from Tarkov can be a little crazy, and they can be really hard to figure out where exactly it landed. I had been practicing using grenades to my advantage and actually pushing the enemy instead of, because you know, a lot of times enemies use grenades to flush people out or just to hear movement. I'm not sure if there's a second person. You know, at this point, I'm thinking he doesn't know that there's two of us. He tossed an aid just to see if there's a second person. His guard might be down if I push around this corner really quick. Now, in hindsight, when we pause it, we can see that this grenade landed right here. So even if I get around the corner, if I don't get deep enough, there's a chance this grenade still kills me. Probably in hindsight, the best thing would have been to rotate back around, because there's a corner right here to the right that I could have gotten behind, waited for that grenade to explode, and then potentially listened to see if he was pushing. But we made the call. We we didn't know where the grenade was, and we went for the push. Now we can see that I let that end of the clip in because I immediately, because this happens all the time, I immediately said I thought we got really good shots on that guy. He had to have had really high tier armor. We talked about this in the last video and in the intro video to this series, that watching clips back can be so valuable, because when I started watching this back, especially when I slowed it down a little bit, I see that our initial shot hit here. We hit maybe one or two good shots. Now we're above him because he crouched. He shoots me, so I'm aim punched and I'm correcting back and forth, and I'm dead. So let's watch just that little bit again.
He's around that corner, he tapped me.
See, so right after that, it felt good. And I know that it's almost like embarrassing to watch this back, because you're like, oh, you know, how did you think that you hit those shots? That was awful. That was terrible aim. Believe me, it happens so much more often than you think, where you die and you're like, no way, I put so many shots on that guy. You watch it back, maybe you slow it down a little bit, and you see your shots weren't landing. In this instance, once again, if I'm making the push and going around tight, I should have been listening to see if he was running, because this little awkward exchange happens where he's full sprint, I'm full sprint, and we just kind of whip around and both try and put shots down range. A decision I made, I've got the MP7, I've got crazy ergo, I get the snap and get first shots, but I basically just right clicked and then started and just held left click. There wasn't a lot of calculation to making sure I'm on target. So as soon as I started spraying, what little recoil that the MP7 has started working against me. I'm standing up and I went around this corner really wide. Not knowing where the grenade was, that's kind of why. But if I had came around this corner much tighter and maybe used some of this as cover, I wouldn't have exposed so much of my body. But we went around really wide, and we can see that our enemy makes the decision. He reacts to me and is able to think smart enough to crouch and get the recoil benefit there. That also means I start shooting above him and have to pull down. Even the backpack is working against me here, because as he crouches and I start getting aim punched, that kind of looks like his head, but he's able to crouch and immediately get a more accurate tap on me. So there was a few things we could have done better, right? We could have been more aware of the enemy right at the beginning when we heard the wood. We could have pushed away from the grenade instead. We could have thought about the fact that if we can hear him, he can hear us. And I could have made a few decisions to, if I did want to push him tighter, crouch, get some extra aim, and just practice my accuracy. Now, what was funny about this is that what this ended up being was Worrun, the Escape from Tarkov streamer Worrun, who needs no introduction. He's an incredible player, and he is, I mean, one of the best. And because it was him, somebody in my chat posted the clip from his perspective. So we're going to watch that fight from Worrun's perspective really quick. So let's go ahead and roll that.
This, we're about to just pre-fire the fuck out of him. He's dead, okay. We're gonna throw another grenade, check the armor, push up towards the corner. Kill the other pleb. He's trying to push me. He's trying to do my play.
So it feels kind of good. If I'm gonna die, it's gonna be nice to die to Worrun. But we can start to see right off the bat, you know, right as we start this clip, he says, I'm gonna pre-fire this person. That lets me know he knew exactly where my teammate was. The fact that he just immediately snaps around the corner and shoots low means that what we talked about was correct. He absolutely heard my friend go prone and was able to just immediately peek the corner really quick. He knew we were there because he was listening to his audio cues. We were still in the maybe phase. We were like, I heard wood, let me repack some mags. He held the angle. So he used that knowledge against us. You got to love how he narrates the play. Says he's going to toss the nade. What you can hear is, I'm actually going to turn the volume back up. You can hear the tone in his voice. My push did surprise him. The play that I wanted to make worked. I came around that corner and he was not expecting that. He even says he's trying to do my play. But we see from his perspective, once again, I get those first shots, but he reacts perfectly, crouches. He's got a really tight spread. He's really an accurate player and is able to take me down.
Grenade, check the armor, push up towards the corner.
See, push up to the corner. He was a little surprised, and look at how fast he reacts by ADSing, crouching, and gets right on my neck and my head and is able to just eliminate me from that fight. You can even see the aim punch of my gun going up in the air almost immediately. So he just played that absolutely perfectly. So this was kind of a cool one, being able to see this fight from multiple perspectives. As always, I hope that this is helpful to you. I hope that it's entertaining to you at the very least. But once again, setting up replay buffers, setting up something that allows you to watch these engagements back and break down what you did right or what you did wrong is invaluable. I hope by even watching me do that, you can start to think about these things for yourself. Was I as accurate as I thought it was? Could I have you know, maybe found some hard cover? Map knowledge is a huge thing, you know, knowing that there was that column right here if I had just come around really tight. All of that kind of stuff plays into it. Once again, don't beat yourself up over making bad plays. That's how you learn good plays. There's a lot to learn in Tarkov. There's a big learning curve. It is a time investment, but if that's something you're into, you can become really, really good at this game and get that map knowledge and know where the hard cover is, and your brain can start cycling faster. I've seen it in me. I make much quicker and much better decisions than I did a few months ago playing the game, but we learn from our bad decisions and we learn from breaking situations like this down and getting better. So big GGs to Worrun. It's always fun to get killed by somebody who's that good. I didn't feel nearly as bad. He played it really, really well. He used the information that was available to him, and we were able to learn from this mistake. So I hope that this helped. I hope that this is good for you guys, and I hope this encourages you to break down your own gameplay as well. Thank y'all so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. I hope that this was helpful to you. I know that doing this has been insanely beneficial for me and my playstyle and getting better at the game. If you have any questions about this video, or if there's any guides or videos you'd like to see me make here in the future, drop a comment down below. If you like the video, think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for more Escape from Tarkov content like this. I'm always trying to create content that helps shorten the learning curve of Escape from Tarkov and gets you in your raids having fun as soon as possible. So thank you again for stopping by, and I'll see y'all on the next one.